Well, hello everyone. Wait. Sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy, Dark Raikou here with What If Issei Became a Vasto Lord, Part 5. So yes, this is Part 5, and what's it called? So yeah, this is Part 5 of this What If. Part 6 will be whenever later, but whatever, not the point. I am going to do also what's it called? What if Issei became, not became, was a Spartan descendant, or yeah, was a descendant from Sparta. So don't worry about that. I just gotta remake the thumbnail and go do it, okay? But that's not the point. Let me begin. This is what if. Let me shut the fuck up. And yeah, now we begin into mostly Issei. Issei mostly not Issei Heido or Issei Aizen because well, either way you look at it, it's almost the same, but not the point. We go into the brown haired boy kind of, well, training. It's been over about 2 more months, or not even 2 more months, mostly 2 weeks of him kind of training. Well, not training, also going on missions, and also finding out a kid. He found a kid in a weird dimension place that was kind of somewhat like the sea. What I mean, it was a very dark place, but it was water, like standing on water, which confused him a lot because it was actually between mostly Waco Mundo, what's it called, the dimensional gap, and also mostly it was somewhere in the dimensional gap, but it was between the world of the living, Waco Mundo, Soul Society, and other places. But this is where it was confusing. This place, like, it was a kind of separate dimension from mostly Waco, well, not Waco Mundo, like a separate, somewhat dimension from Waco Mundo and the dimensional gap, which confused him a lot. But he saw something that actually horrified him in an instant. Right now, he's been through so many battles, and yet nothing did make him kind of horrified that much. But this is where the one thing that horrified him was a dark blue haired kid that mostly his eyes seemed to be closed, but mostly everything around him. Most of the kid does seem to wake up, but it seems his eyes are still closed. And the kid right now sent like these dark water dragon tentacles straight towards Issei. Issei widened his eyes and had to dodge most of the attacks. This is where, well, Issei couldn't really, like, right now think, because mostly he was wondering the dark haired blue kid reminded him of someone so badly that he really wished for him to actually live. This is where, well, Issei was about to get hit by one of the water dragon tentacles until something actually hit it and destroyed it in an instant. Right now, Issei was confused, but sees Urahara. This is where Urahara says, "Hey, kid." This is where, well, Issei says, Urahara. This is where Urahara says, "Don't know why you're actually getting distracted. You are about to get killed." This is where, well, Issei said, This is where, well, Issei kind of just looks away from mostly Urahara's eyes, or mostly where his eyes should be at, but mostly his bucket hat. This is where, well, Issei says, I can't kill him. He reminds me way too much of your past with Aizen. This is where, well, Issei right now grit his teeth. This is where, well, Urahara looks at the kid that's right now surrounded by like these dark, mostly like the dark water around him, like if he's controlling it without even knowing. This is where, well, Urahara says, "How about this, kid?" This is where he looks at Issei. Issei looks up at him, and this is where, well, "How about I help you knock out the kid, and then we can talk about your past." Issei goes, I don't want to talk about my past. Stop acting like a little girl and just fucking go fight him. Fine. This is where, well, Issei kind of nodded, and this is where Urahara decides to back him up with the battle. Urahara right now uses his Zanpakuto to easily cut the, what's it called, water dragon tentacles, to easily just cut them off. But every time he does cut them off, he notices that the water just falls back down to the dark water abyss underneath him, which he's confused. It seems the dark water underneath him doesn't seem to be like making them fall or any slower. It's like a platform, but it's made out of liquids. He's confused, but this is where, well, he sees Issei right now rushing towards the kid, and this is where, well, Issei right now destroys any, what's it called, water dragon tentacles from hitting him. This is where water specks actually appear underneath him, which when they were about to hit him, this is where Issei just decides to stomp the ground in an instant, destroying it by kind of making it kind of wobble in an instant, destroying the water kind of like spikes. Issei then starts rushing straight towards the kid. This is where, well, Issei right now activates his Holofy mask by taking off his mostly phony mask that he has mostly all the time and puts on his actual real mask. This is where, his true Holofy mask. This is where a screech happens, and this is where, Issei's speed, power, and everything just increases a lot. This is where he disappears in an instant flash stepping and tornado, mostly flash step and tornado together, to disappear from mostly the kid's view. But this is where, every time that Issei disappears from the kid's view, it seems the water dragons can even track them. This is where, we'll keep track on him. This is where, Urahara noticed something strange about the kid that's in the water. A mask is actually appearing on his face. This is where, the mask is similar to that of mostly like a Levante head. This is where, it's kind of like a Levante kind of head. This is where, Urahara says, Issei, dodge! This is where, Issei keeps dodging and saying, what do you think I'm doing? No, I mean like, how should I say? The kid that's in the water seems to be having a Holofy mask also. Are you sure? This is interesting. It's similar to that of like Ichigo's. It's similar to that of like yours and Ichigo's. This is where, Issei says, what? That's impossible. Unless... Shinkai! Issei screams in an instant. Right now, his voice is distorted just because of the mask. This is where, the water tentacle dragon seems to just stop in an instant. Right now, like they're kind of trembling in an instant. This is where, the kid seems to be one of his eyes before the mask even covered up his face fully. Kind of open his eyes, showing his darkish blue eyes. And Issei noticed those darkish blue eyes. They were all with sadness and kind of despair in them. This is where, mostly the kid says, big brother? This is where, the water around him right now exploded, right now destroying everything. This is where, Issei runs straight towards Shinkai because Shinkai was falling towards the ground because he was up in the air. This is where, when the kid was about to fall down to the ground, Issei right now just using tornado and flash up in an instant, becoming there much faster and grabbing the kid. This is where, it seems that something also appeared in his hand, mostly his right hand. It seems to be like this red gauntlet that increases speed. Even when it said boost in an instant, this is where Issei's speed became so much faster to grab the kid before the kid even fell down. This is where Issei says, Shinkai, are you okay? This is where, Issei's face is in so many emotions. First, happiness, sadness, anger, despair. So many emotions are appearing on his face in an instant, all at once. He's just glad. Listen, when Issei is right now holding Shinkai like if he's still a child, because he is still a child somewhat. Shinkai seems to be at the age of mostly, the last time that Issei saw Shinkai, or mostly this young child, was around mostly when he was 7 or 6. It was actually one of the smallest children in mostly the experiments, which mostly makes Issei really sad and angry that he couldn't protect the child, but mostly he's happy and right now full of joy to see him again. This is where, he's just looking at the child. It seems that he's around either 14 or 13, which he doesn't care. He's right now hugging him like if he's a stuffed bear and he doesn't want to let go of him at all. This is where, Urahara says, so what is happening? This is where Issei growls at him like a little bit until mostly Urahara says, okay, fine, I won't touch the kid. Still, we do gotta check on his vitals to see if he's okay. Issei, right now, let's go up Shinkai and say, fine. Then stop hugging him like a bear, stuffed bear, someone. And decide to bring him towards mostly Urahara's shop. This is what Urahara says, his vitals and everything is good. He seems to be unconscious. Weird, because I know that hollows and wrong cards don't need to eat that much. But still, this kid is still human, similar to you like Ichigo. But since Ichigo never was experimented on, because it was mostly Aizen's grand plan or whatever bullcrap, I don't know. Also, the kid seemed to be around like 14 or 13. He just says, yeah, that's how much I was thinking about. This is where, what how to say? Still, you seem to be really mostly caring about this child a lot. Issei said, of course. His name is Shinkai, if I can remember right. Shinkai means dark sea. Dark sea. Or dark blue sea. Oh, I forgot what was the name in Japanese. But don't worry about that. This is where, he says that mostly, how should I say, somewhat also an experiment from Eisen. He's he was supposed to be one of the youngest children to survive the experiment. But I was surprised. I see. And it was all 7 years ago that all happened. When you were 10 and you turned 11 in the whole experiment. Yeah. So that means Shinkai was what? 6 or 7 at that time. Huh. That really sucks. Also that reminds me. Issei. Huh? You have only 1 more week before going back to your hometown. This is where, well, Issei seems to have so many emotions, so many mixed emotions on his face. First, kind of doesn't want to, and actually feels like he really doesn't actually want to at all. But he feels a little bit happy to see some of his friends, like his 2 best friends, who are Monohama Masui, and then see Celestia and even Allison. But this is where, well, he also has mixed emotions about seeing his family, seeing his father specifically. This is where, well, Urahara says, I know you don't want to go see them. I know you don't really want to go see your parents, or mostly your father. But you're going to have to go back. I did tell you that it will be somewhere around 6 months. So yeah. He says, can't I just stay here in Kurakara town? Wait, can't I just go to the same school that Ichigo goes to? This is where Urahara says, yes, but we have to get like permission from your old school to go to Kurakara town's mostly school here. It's where Issei sighs and says, why? Why are you so mean like that? Why can't you just like manipulate their minds just to kind of make me go to the school? I think I'd rather have much more fun with Ichigo than my old school. Issei says, what? Just go to your old school. It's not that hard, is it? Issei kind of says, it is, okay? I don't want to go back. No. Urahara says, I will force you back if you don't go back, okay? Issei says, that's if you can catch me. This is where, well, Urahara says, what do you mean? I'll be running away from you. I'm not going back. This is where, well, Urahara says, well, he doesn't say Ichigo, he says Issei. Issei kind of like goes behind her like he's walking away from Urahara and decides to open the door and run. This is where Urahara sighs and says, this is where, well, he tells the people that are mostly underneath him, like mostly like, not soldiers, but mostly kind of as the red hair kid, the girl, and mostly his, I forgot that one guy's name, but to kind of go chase after Issei because Issei is right now running away like fast. This is where Issei isn't in terms of a wrong card for or any of that. He's just running away like in human speed, but he's quite fast for being a human still. This is where, well, Issei says, I'm not going back! No! This is where, well, mostly the 3 of them are chasing him and of course sending like attacks to try to capture him. This is where, Issei says, I refuse to go back! No! But yeah, Issei managed to escape them and of course is hiding out somewhere. We go into someone appear right in front of him and Issei was about to go to sleep until he saw something with kind of orange hair. This is where, well, he didn't wind his eyes before he can even dodge. Ichigo already grabbed him in an instant, grabbing him from the collar and right now disappearing in a flash step. This is where Issei says, hey, let go of me, Ichigo, no please, don't do this to me. This is where, well, Ichigo is saying, stop moving around, Issei. Issei says, no, I refuse. No, I don't want to go. No, please don't do this to me, big brother Ichigo. No. This is where, well, Ichigo is trying to not let go of Issei's collar, but this is where Issei managed to wiggle out from him by taking off most of his coat. And of course, where, well, he's right now with his black button-up shirt. And this is where, well, Ichigo says, Issei, you're gonna have to go back to, what's it called? Clothing. Oh, yeah. Wait, let me say that. I think he calls him Clothing Hat, and this is where Ichigo says, come on, Issei, just go to Clothing Hat's shop already. Stop acting like a little brat for a second. Well, it's not 1 week, it's actually 1 day, so yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, I refuse. No, I don't want to go back. This is where, well, Ichigo sighs and says, why not? This is where, well, Issei freezes up and says, it's because of your father, isn't it? This is where Issei freezes up even more and says, how do you know? This is where, well, Right now, mostly Ichigo kind of looks at Issei and kind of says, I only have a suspicion. He always kind of look at my family with mostly happy tear kind of joy. When I told you about my mother, you kind of seem sad. Well, not too sad. You kind of seems kind of surprised I didn't have a mother. But when I told you I had a father, you asked me weird questions about like if he ever been kind of abusive. I said no, and I kind of said he's quite overprotective and quite, how should I say, annoying, and mostly me trying to learn how to fight and other things. So yeah, I only have a very distant clue that you like your mother a lot more than your father. You rather not be anywhere near your father. And when my father was quite nice to you, you were actually kind of crying in joyful tears. This is where, well, Issei praises up and says, this is where, well, Issei kind of just like sits there floating up in the sky and just looking at Ichigo with these kind of emotionless eyes. This is where, well, Issei says, I guess you're telling the truth. Or, I mean, you're all saying the truth. I don't want to go back. I'm nervous and scared. This is where, well, Ichigo seems surprised to see Issei crying. This is where, well, Ichigo says, it'll be fine, kid. I mean, it'll be fine, Issei. Nothing will ever happen. Besides, if your father is an abusive asshole, not gonna lie, you're different from him. You're no longer human. You're not wrong kind of human. But yet, you always have these special interesting abilities and always fight along with me. Even if my battle seems to be dangerous, you seem not to care too much. And run in way too much like Zaraki Kampachi. Issei chuckles and says, I guess you're right. This is where, well, Issei sighs and says, fine, I'll be going. This is where, well, Issei appears grabbing Ichigo, well, mostly grabbing Ichigo from the hand, and of course just taking his, like, well, not hand, no, mostly appearing right in front of Ichigo and grabbing his, like, mostly coat, and kind of, like, pulling it out of her from Ichigo's kind of grasp, and then putting it on. This is where Issei says, then I'll race you. This is where Issei disappears in an instant, and Ichigo says, hey, wait, no, you little rat! This is where, well, Ichigo chases after Issei, and this is where, well, we go into Issei appearing in front of Urahara's kind of shop. Urahara says, well, you came back. Well, so it seems you came back. Well, you should be packing up now because you only have one more day. So you can go back to, what's it called, Cool Town. He says sighs and says, fine. But I won't like it. If my father do anything stupid and shady, I won't hesitate to kill him. He says that in a cold, dead voice. Urahara says, I know. Fine. If you do that, then, I don't know what to say to you, okay, kid? I'm just telling you to kind of not kill him. Even if he had something to do with most of your, how should I say, incident 7 years ago. Please don't try to kill him, because we will try to get evidence from him first. He says sighs and says, fine. Issei goes inside to kind of get his, like, mostly stuff. Of course, he sees in a different room, mostly the blue-haired kid, and this room, the blue-haired kid is right now hooked up to a machine to see his vitals and other stuff. Issei sighs and says, Issei sighs and right now kind of disappears. Kind of going to his, like, room and actually getting his supplies. We go into Issei kind of getting ready to get to Cool Town in an instant by doing flash step, or we're just making a mostly portal to just get there. This is where, well, Urahara just tells him to just take a train for once, like a normal human. Issei sighs and says, fine. This is where, well, Issei kind of just walks away. Kind of sees Ichigo, and Ichigo is with his, like, friends telling Issei, well, the next day kind of saying bye and other things. And this is where, well, Issei kind of puts out his fist in front of Ichigo, which Ichigo decides to just fist bump him. This is where, well, Issei says, I'll be back, Ichigo, and I will be stronger than you. This is where Issei smiles. Ichigo smiles also with a friendly, joyful smile and says, sure you will. This is where, well, mostly, Ichigo is kind of just smiling at Issei, and this is where, well, before anything else happens, this is where Ichigo's father tries to kick at Ichigo and says, surprise attack! This is where, well, both Ichigo and Issei says, Not now! This is where both of them kicks him at the same time. This is where, well, Ichigo's dad gets knocked the fuck out. This is where, well, both Ichigo's sisters just sighs in an instant. Well, one of them just giggles while the other one just sighs and says, you fucking moron. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, sorry about kicking your father like that. This is where Ichigo says, nah, it's fine. Besides, he's quite annoying half the time. Issei says, yeah, I guess you're right. This is where, well, we go into mostly Ichigo seeing the others like Chad, Orihime, Uryu. Of course, the others. This is where, well, he also sees Kisuke Urahara and the others. This is where, well, he sees Grimmjow, and Grimmjow saying, hey kid, next time you get over here to Kurakara Town, I'm gonna kick the shit of you. This is where Issei says, why is that? You know why, you little brat. I know what you did with the fact with Tira. You fucking bastard. Issei hasn't really seen Grimmjow in like about a couple of weeks. Issei chuckles and says, oh, so you saw my surprise? You little brat. I will kill you the next day. Or I'll get revenge on you, you brat. This is where, Issei says, to be fair, Tira did ask me to kind of capture you. But other than that, bye. This is where Issei walks past him, just gets to the train and just like gets on and just drive away. Mostly the train just goes. This is where Urahara says, so what happened with you and Tira and also Nell? This is where, well, Grimmjow blushes and says, nothing. Now shut the hell up. This is where, well, Grimmjow makes a kind of portal to go to Wake Up Moon and disappears. This is where, well, Urahara just kind of giggles, kind of having the fan over his face and just disappearing. But yeah, he just walks away. This is where, well, we go into Issei getting towards mostly Kuo Town. Now, when he gets to Kuo Town, it's right now dark and, well, mostly night. He doesn't really want to go see his parents, so of course he decides to kind of just walk around. Or mostly just use flashlight to walk around to right now put out the layout to see how, well, if anything changed in 6 months in Kuo Town. This is where, well, Issei looks around and kind of just says, nothing really changed. Huh. Well, it's interesting. I haven't been here in like 6 months. I feel much better. I feel less PTSD or whatever bullcrap, and I just feel much more better. So where, well, Issei says, well, that's a lie. I did say that I haven't been here 6 months. Yet I've been here about like about that 4th month since I had to defeat those damn Arancars and that damn fallen wing angel. Or not 4 months, like a couple of weeks ago. But it's really weird to be back. And I have to stay here permanently. Or maybe, maybe I can actually trick those damn devils from my school to make me switch towards mostly this damn Kuo towards Kurakara Town. It'd be cool. Maybe I can even bring what's it called, Morahama or Matsui to it. So they can basically meet what's it called Ichigo's friends. What to do? Whatever. Issei right now disappears in an instant again, but we go to the next day happening. Issei just woke up from on top of a tree and say, he's stretching until he realized that he's on the tree branch, so he falls. Issei says, what the? Oh shit! That's where Issei managed to land on the ground pretty easily, and that's where Issei thinks, right, fuck, that hurts. Oh, thank God I didn't hit the ground too hard. Then again, I have an Arancard body. An Arancard exoskeleton, so yeah. Nothing really hurts me, Issei said. Well, he didn't really land it perfectly, he just smashed his face into the ground. And so what, Issei gets up and says, what time is it? He pulls out his phone to check. It's mostly 9 o'clock. Well, it's kind of like 9 o'clock, and this is where Issei says, right. No, it's not 9 o'clock. Wait. So it is 9 o'clock, and he could go to the school, but instead he went to just fuck around. So yeah, but we go into a time skip of something happening in mostly Kuo's, what's it called? Kuo High, mostly the Kuo Academy. It seems that mostly an attack happened on them, mostly from Chaos Brigade, but something else happens. A man actually appears, having glasses, having darkish brown hair, and Azia knows who this person is. His name is none other than Goro Hyoro, which most of the others, like from the three factions leaders, kind of are confused to see this person. He seems humanoid, but yeah. Or not, I just didn't know who exactly he was. Mostly Irina knew because she knows about Goro Hyodo. This is where Irina says, Goro? Hyodo? What are you doing, sir? This is where Irina was confused and shouting at Goro. Goro right now looks at them. Of course, he's the kind of vanishing dragon up in the air, kind of talking stuff about mostly towards a fallen angel leader. And this is where when they're confused to see this person smiles and says, wow, the vanishing dragon. Quite interesting. Oh, why I'm here, Irina? This is where he takes off his glasses, showing off that he still has his eye closed. The reason why I'm here, Irina, is because I just wanted to test out my powers. You know, I wanted to know how strong am I against the three faction leaders. This is where, well, not Issei, mostly Goro smiles. Right now, revealing a pair of mostly, reveals a total of 12 wings. Now, the problem is with these 12 wings. This is where, well, 2 in the bottom of mostly his wings, mostly the bottom, mostly from the bottom right and left, are kind of devil wings. This is where in the middle of mostly his back has fallen angel wings, and then the top they're like angel wings. This is where all of them wind their eyes. This is where, well, as it says, what the? How the? This is where, well, right now, Goro says, oh, you're wondering how I did this. Well, I was wondering, when I saw into the history of the three kind of factions and other things, I saw something about Lucifer Morningstar. And I saw that he used to be an angel. So I had a theory about how maybe I can gain the power of Lucifer Morningstar, which I managed to get. This is where he grins on his face. His eyes are open and they're slicked. This is where, well, slick kind of reddish color. This is where, well, or not reddish, they're kind of slick goldenish color. And this is where he's grinning, saying, well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to my domain of power. And I will be able to kill all of you. I will be the strongest. I'll become a god of this world. This is where, well, all of them wind their eyes. This is where, well, mostly the vanishing dragon says, divide! This is where, well, mostly Goro disappears and right now summon out a sword out of nowhere. And this is where he says, Zanpakuto, wind-cutting slashes. This is where he threw multiple wind-cutting slashes straight to the vanishing dragon. The vanishing dragon tries to disappear, but of course, mostly the wind slashes managed to even hit him. Or her, or whoever it was, because they crashed down to the ground in an instant. Even if they tried to divide the slashes, they couldn't. It was similar to that of mostly fighting against that crazy masked bastard. This is where, well, the person gets out of the rubble, and of course, this is where a fallen angel leader checked on the person. Volley, are you okay? This is where, well, or not, well, he does say volley. But this is where, when someone comes out, this is where it's actually a female. Now, this is where everyone's surprised because mostly they thought Volley was actually a guy instead of a girl because he had the armor on. Or they thought it was a he, but now it's actually a she. And this is where, well, Volley says, yes, I'm fine, Dad. Stop calling me. Well, I guess everyone has seen me now. This is where, well, everyone kind of just seen that she kind of looks much prettier than half the girls in they actually thought, but yeah. This is where, well, there's other factions that are there, mostly like the, what they call yokai faction, but yeah. This is where, well, they're kind of just looking at Goro. Goro seems to be powerful. The sword next to him seems to be making wind slashes, but without magic. This is where, well, mostly Goro is smiling at them and saying, well, it seems that it's now time for me to kill you all. Since you see here, I am the strongest being right now. Unless the society knows about my whereabouts, which I doubt them to even know, because they're right now keeping a good lockdown on good old Pops. But you don't need to know what I'm talking about. All you gotta know is I will kill you all. And Irina, also you're probably wondering about the abomination. This is where, well, right now Goro kind of has one of his fingers up to his mouth and having one of his eyes closed and saying something about abomination. This is where, well, Irina says, what are you talking about? Abomination? What are you? This is where Goro says, oh, you know the person by as Issei. Well, that little brat, I don't know where he's at. He's probably dead for all I know, and I wouldn't even care too much. This is where multiple girls grit their teeth in an instant, kind of annoyed at how Goro talked about his son. In an instant, Irene also kind of got mad. This is where, well, she also won her eyes from the fact that mostly Goro seems to not care about where Issei's whereabouts are at. This is where, well, Goro says, all I care about is me slaughtering you all and showing that I am much more powerful than any of you. You people won't be able to defeat me. This is where, well, before anything else happens, a black sword smashes through the ground in an instant right in front of, well, Goro. Goro widens his eyes, and this is where, well, Goro jumps back in an instant. Right now, someone appears right in front of the sword in an instant. What it kind of looks like, it looked like this. So it kind of looked like this. The sword appeared right in front of, well, mostly Goro in an instant, like if it was supposed to stab him. This is where he jumped away in an instant, confused. A black sword right now crackling with lightning. This is where everyone was also confused when that sword appeared. Someone appeared also right in front of mostly Goro in an instant. This is where grabbing the sword and right now swinging the sword with his left hand and saying, "Lightning slash!" This is where a lightning slash appears right in front of Goro. Goro dodges and right now swings a wind slash right in front of him and right now trying to cut at the person. The person would have dodged fast enough, but this is where, well, it actually managed to hit him right in the face. Right now kind of cutting a good part of his mask. This is where, well, or just his mask and push it back mostly the, well, it hit the mask mostly. And it didn't really cut it, it kind of just cut a little bit, but it wasn't too deep of a gash or any of that. This is where, well, it also pushed him back towards mostly the others, but that's just because he didn't actually land too properly, or he was there, but he didn't actually like put like reality towards it, like legs, to not get pushed back, because he didn't know about his father being able to use wind slash. But yeah, this is where, well, the kind of like hood kind of did push his like, got pushed a little bit, and also mostly his scarf, but didn't actually remove from his face. This is where, well, he was kind of close to the other faction, but they were confused in exactly this person is. This is where, well, mostly, Sir Zex actually widens his eyes and says, "Arankar-san!" This is where, well, everyone looks at him and confusedly, until mostly Irina kind of says, "That's the same person that appeared defeating Kokobil." This is where, well, mostly, Valerie says, "Wait, that's the son of a bitch who actually kicked my ass! And yet he's here protecting us? I want a fucking rematch, asshole!" Yes, where, well, mostly, Azur tries to calm down his daughter and says, "Valerie, I don't think it's a good idea to piss off the guy who's right now protecting us." But yeah, since half of us are kind of low on magic against the Chaos Brigade, this is where Valerie says, This is where, well, Azur was confused, but this is where, well, Issei right now kind of decides to take off his mask. Well, yes, it's another Issei, but this is where he's slowly taking off his mask. His father is looking at him confusedly until mostly the hood and mask is still kind of on him, mostly the scarf. But he takes off the mask, and this is where, well, he then puts him right in front of him, and this is where, well, Issei then takes off fully the scarf and hood off of him. This is where his long kind of brownish hair is kind of flowing behind him, because I should have mentioned that his brownish hair has become longer and much more darker than normal, so it's kind of like a long darkish brown color. His brown hair does kind of reach all the way down to his like neck, like near his top of his like back. But yeah, this is where, well, it's blowing behind him, and this is where, well, he then kind of opened his eyes and kind of having the mask right in front of him, and this is where he crushes it in an instant right now, saying, "Father!" This is where, or not really say father, he says, this is where, well, he says, "Father, you son of a bitch." This is where, well, he crushes the mask in an instant, or, not father, you son of a bitch, wait, fuck. So it kind of looks like this. Where freaking, where Shigaraki kind of like decays his hand mask and destroys it, Issei does the same, and this is where, well, his hood and mostly his face, scarf actually fully blows away. Because he crushes it in an instant. This is where, well, Issei is smiling at mostly his father. He doesn't say anything much, but this is where, well, mostly his father winds his eyes and says, "You abomination." This is where, well, mostly everyone is confused until Irina took a closer look into Issei, well, mostly towards mostly the person I'm confused and why he took off his mask and mostly his hood and other things that's kind of blowing his darkish brown hair. This is where, well, Issei says, hello, you bastard for fucking father. I'm back, and I'm here for fucking murder. Don't worry, I'll kill you. Very fast. This is where Issei grins at his fucking father's face. This is where, well, Goro says, you think I'm gonna die that easily from you? I'm not gonna die just because my son said that he wants to kill me. You think I'm just going to fall over and die already? Issei coughs into his throat. Mostly hands say, yes. That's what I really wish you can just do. I wish that mostly my looks can just kill you, my eyes, because I really don't want to be anywhere near you. But you know what? Killing you with my bare hands will be fun. Issei right now grins in an instant with a sinister kind of grin. This is where Goro grits his teeth and says, you think I'm that weak? I'll show you the power of the Morning Star. Issei says, Morning Star, blah, 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 I don't care. This is where Issei disappears in an instant, reappearing right in front of his father, kicking him right in the fucking face. This is where launching him away. His father right now lands by himself pretty easily because of his wings, and they manage to kind of direct from the impact. This is where his father says, you annoying little brat. Issei says, wow, you actually took that kick pretty head on and didn't die. I wish you actually died. Man, I wish my legs can take your head off. It would have been much easier like that. This is where his father grits his teeth and looks at his son with such anger, and mostly like anger in his eyes. This is where, well, his eyes are kind of having like those blood shots and kind of getting angry. And mostly his son. He says, oh, are you angry against me? Well, I don't care. If you're angry or not. Go fuck yourself that much. This is where, well, his father grits his teeth and says, you wanna die, you little brat. I thought you died thanks to that fucking virus of holification. Wait a minute. Oh, you just noticed the holification wasn't actually a virus. It was just for me to awaken that shit back again. And I'm back to awaken it and kick your ass. Don't worry how you can see for yourself and how strong I have gotten. Issei has right now his hand. It's mostly his left hand right in front of his face, and this is where reddish, darkish energy started appearing. This is where, well, he says, I'll show you what I have became stronger than you ever can believe. This is where, well, Issei right now awakens the mask appearing right in front of his face. This is where he screeches out, mostly kind of screeching out like this. Yourself. But yeah, he screeches out, and this is where, well, his father whined his eyes, and this is where everyone whined their eyes. A mask appears in front of Issei's face. His eyes are now yellow instead of being goldenish yellow. This is where Issei right now smiles, having, well, summoned out both of his swords, kind of having the black sword in his left hand and having the white sword in his right hand. This is where, well, he grins and says, I'll kill you in an instant, you son of a bitch. Just like how you tried to kill me 7 years ago, I'm gonna kill you right now. This is where, well, his father grits his teeth and says, so you know about that incident. How do you know about that, though? Oh, grandfather told me. And not gonna lie, I didn't even know he was my grandfather. And that means he's your father. This is where, well, Goro says, he grits his teeth and says, that man isn't my father. Oh, well, if I see him as my grandfather, then I guess you can see him as your father. So I need you to shut the fuck up, you bastard. Besides, I hate both of you in an instant with how should I say, I hate both of you so much, but I guess I can hate one of you more than normal. This is where, well, and Goro says, and who's that? You asshole. This is where, well, Goro grabs his teeth and says, really? Me? Oh, but I'm your father. I'm your dear old father. Why will you? This is where Issei says, oh, dear old father, and I hope you won't burn too easily. Blue flare! This is where, well, he swings his white sword, and this is where his white sword right now just ignited with blue flames trying to cut at mostly Goro. Goro jumps away, but this is where one of his wings managed to catch on fire, and that is just one of his angel wings. This is where he says, son of a, why isn't this turning off? These flames are annoying. This is where, well, Issei appears right in front of Goro, and this is where Goro says, lightning slash! This is where, well, he cuts what's it called, Goro vertical, and this is where, well, mostly Goro coughs up some blood, and this is where he's gritting his teeth using the wind blade to try to cut at him. Mostly his Zanpakuto, which is like wind that he can control. And this is where, well, Issei managed to dodge in an instant and saying, oh, well, you fucking missed, you asshole. And I ain't dying. lightning pierce. This is where, well, he uses the black sword to kind of right now crackle lightning into his sword and tries to pierce him in a piercing motion. This is where Goto winds his eyes and tries to use his wind blade to block the attack. He then says, Shikai release, wind shield. This is where a wind vortex appear. Right now, stopping what's it called, Issei from actually stabbing into mostly his father with the lightning blade. Issei grit his teeth and decides to try to push further, but mostly he got pushed back away. This is where, well, Goto says, I'm not dying, you little brat. You think you can take me out just because you think you have taken out stronger beings. Guess what? I'm your father. I'm still stronger than you. No matter what, I used to be a Shinigami. So, even if you have trained for 6 months, I live longer than that, you brat. This is where, well, Issei grit his teeth and says, oh, so you do admit that you are a Shinigami. This is where, well, mostly his father says, yeah, and I have trained for much more longer than have you ever been. So just die in an instant, why don't you, little brat? Wind device slashes. This is where he swings his sword multiple times right in front of him, being horizontal, vertical, or even like parallel or perpendicular, whatever. Right now, in front of him, trying to just multiple slashes. Issei sees it, and this is where he stabs the blue sword, or mostly not the blue sword, the white sword and black sword into the ground, and says, "Blue flare, annihilation, lightning, shield." This is where, well, both swords right now igniting with blue and lightning kind of feel, which lightning and blue lightning or blue flames into the ground and sending a wall of mostly rubble from lightning kind of connecting it all together, and blue flames kind of right now appearing also around it to stop any of the wind slashes from actually hitting him behind, because he knows the factions are behind him. This is where Issei just really wish that these motherfuckers can actually get out of the way. This is where, well, when Issei pulls both of his swords out of the way, this is where his father appears in a blinding speed. This is where, well, Issei winds his eyes because his father right now has a light spear in his, what's it called, left hand, stabbing into Issei's stomach. Issei coughs up in blood, but this is where Issei then smashes his, like, forehead into his father's head right now, smashing him away. This is where, well, Issei's mask kind of cracked a little bit, but this is where it kind of regenerates in an instant. He says, you think you're stronger than that? Just because you have your body, you experiment your body on by just having a bit of those doves, crows, and bat wings behind your back. Just think you're a little bit much more powerful than the Shinigamis himself. This is where, well, Goto gets up and right now gets some of the blood off his face and just looks at his son and says, I do believe I'm stronger. I'm much more stronger than you can ever believe, you abomination. This is where, well, Issei grits his teeth and says, why the hell do you keep calling me abomination? Oh, that's easy. Because I never did really want a freaking son. I wanted a daughter. A daughter that can contain your mother's power. What are you talking about, mother? Isn't she just a normal human? Sorry, go to the spot and say, you think that she's a normal human? Wow, you're such a moron. You're truly just a moron, actually. This is where, well, Issei's father just laughs and laughs. And this is where, well, you're such a moron of a brat, aren't you? Well, let me tell you something. Your mother is a devil. She's a half-devil human, but not the point. She's also quite powerful. You see here, in her right eye, she had the eye of mostly, let me say that again. She had the eye of Lilith. Do you know what Lilith is? This is where, well, mostly the devil's behind mostly Issei winding their eyes, and hearing that mostly Issei's mother had the power of mostly Lilith eyes, and this is where mostly in her right eye. Now, if you want to explain, mostly Lilith eyes are actually the one. Well, Lilith is someone that was the mother of the succubus and also incubus, but also kind of the mother of all 72 pillars. This is where, well, mostly Goto explains. This is where Goto also explains that mostly the eyes actually contain the power of all 72 pillars, because yeah, this is where, well, he just says so. What the hell does that make you? A bootleg version of Lucifer trying to F my mother or what? Well, no, I didn't have Lucifer's powers later on. I actually figured out how to do it with Lilith's eyes. You see here, even though I never did have the power of mind controlling like my father, which I did wish I had, but I used a keto to actually mostly hypnotize your mother. Even though if I even took the eye away from her, I couldn't be able to use the power. But I managed to kind of, do something to the eye so I can use it. Of course, it's like for a male version, even though I'm not an incubus or an succubus. But hey, I have the Lucifer Morningstar's powers. And yes, that means I also do have a little bit of the 72 pillars powers, like destruction and other stuff. The problem is this eye doesn't work too much. He opens his, right eye to show the eye that is supposed to be his mother's. He says, how do you... What? That means... Oh yes, 6 months. And since you were gone for 6 months, I had the very perfect timing chance to actually take the eye away from your mother. And actually escape from her before she even managed to notify anyone. So yes, I did that from her mother. I took her away from her. Because, she didn't really want to have another child. Even though I begged her so many times and told her that I would be another good father and I would definitely protect this child. Because she was saddened and depressed from the fact that you had a virus. And she really wished that she could use her powers to actually save you. But she didn't want to reveal the supernatural to you. Which is stupid, not gonna lie. Your mother's so stupid half the damn time. Is there Issei grit his teeth and says, shut up! Don't tell my mother stupid, you're asshole. This is where, mostly Godo says, huh? Oh, sorry. Then you two are stupid as hell. Because, I did try to impregnate your mother again to have a child, and hoping this time it's a daughter. This time I really wanted to use mostly the keto to control her mind, or mostly just raise her to have your mother's eye. Because if she has your mother's eye, and mostly some of my powers of Shinigami, she would have been unstoppable. But I guess that would never happen because she was stupid. Your mother is. Whatever. I'll just kill you now and kill everyone else after. Besides, I'm so much more powerful than my father. That's where Issei says, no, you're the fuck not. Issei thinks in his head, yeah, no, the fuck you're not. Issei has heard from Urahara and even Ichigo from how powerful his grandfather was, mostly Aizen, from that one time of battle. And yes, Ichigo is 19 and this one, not 17. So yeah, this is where, Issei says, he says, sir, evil plan was to basically control my mother's eye. You can barely control 72 pillars. You can control probably only a little bit, half of that version of power. And now you're telling me that you want a daughter to blah, 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 blah. Whatever. You are such a pathetic weakling of an idiot deciding to get other people's power just because you couldn't have your own powers. This is where, right now, his father has check marks and says, you're such an annoying little brat. An annoying abomination little brat. But yet, yes, you are right. So, I do have Lucifer Morningstar's powers and Lilith's powers. And this time I'll destroy you in an instant, Issei. Issei say, yes, because the fact that you decide to put some trauma in my fucking mind as a 10-year-old, that would be enough to kill me. Because, grandfather really didn't care about who exactly I was. Because you never did tell him anything. And he never knew that you were basically his child. This is where, Kodo says, oh, who told you that mostly he say, who told you all about that? Who do you all think? Great-grandfather, or mostly grandfather himself. Huh? Isn't he supposed to be dead? Didn't that orange-haired brat actually kill him? Nope. You see here, grandfather achieved immortality. You, on the other hand, achieve your bitchness. But yeah, this is where, mostly his father grit his teeth and right now has tick marks and says, what did you say, you abomination? This is where, he says, you can stop calling me abomination. You can just call me whatever the fuck you want to, because I'm gonna just kill you and show you that basically the powers of the wrong card is stronger than your pathetic weakling ass mind thinking of having devil powers. Not gonna lie, I don't care. This is where Goro swings a huge wind slash strike towards the sun. This is where Issei managed to dodge in an instant, and right now makes his hand right now crackle with lightning in an instant, or not lightning, mostly a settle appearing. And this is where Issei says, settle! This is where he blasts the settle straight towards mostly his father. His father managed to dodge in an instant using his wings. And this is where, well, Goro laughs and says, you think that would be powerful enough to defeat me? I am much more powerful. I just been playing with you, little brat. I'll show you the true power of the devil. This is where he exploded with so much energy and magic. And this is where everyone won their eyes. This is where Issei says, shit. This is where, well, Issei is right now saying, well, shit. I do have the other abilities that I have trained, but yet, do you think that would be enough? Fuck it. This is where Issei thinks in his mind to gut out his father like a fish. And this is where, well, he has so many dark thoughts. And this is where his hair started floating up in an instant, becoming darker. His eyes started also becoming darker in an instant. This is where even though he has a holofying mask, it became black, also somewhat black. This is where, well, this reddish energy appears in his hands, mostly like this blackish reddish energy, that being the cursed energy that he's using, controlling. And this is where, well, his hands are becoming black, becoming armament hawking. This is where, well, Issei says, I'll beat the shit out of you, know that, asshole. This is where, well, Issei's speed and power has increased entirely. This is where, well, Issei disappears in an instant doing flash up and Sonido in an instant appearing right in front of his father. His father swings multiple light spears and also, mostly the fallen angel spears and also, well, double magic spears. This is where, well, mostly double magic, spears at mostly Issei. Issei right now dodges in an instant. Right now dodging, disappearing. This is where Issei punches his father in the face before even getting stabbed with multiple spears in his butt. This is where Issei coughs up in blood. This is where Issei falls down to the ground. This is where his father laughs and says, you think that your power, that pathetic weakling power, can even reach up to a god? You're so weak. You couldn't even do anything, protect anyone. You know, I have heard from the fact that you still have such PTSD because you couldn't protect any child. And the fact that you killed them all in an instant. You pathetic weakling. He pushes, well, mostly Issei to the side and starts kicking him. And this is where, well, someone screams, no! Stop it! This is where it was Irina and Celestia, right now in their kind of mostly angry kind of forms. This is where Celestia actually, well, appears with mostly a wolf ears, well, mostly icy wolf ears, and this is where a wolf tail. And the reason why she's there is because mostly she was there with the whole battle of Kokubo, but yeah. Also, Issei's friends actually appear right now angry and annoyed using their sacred gears. The fact that mostly Goro's right now kicking Issei down, even though Issei is supposedly dead. Because he got hit with so many attacks and Issei fall down to the ground. This is where, well, Irina is right now appeared with 2 wings. And this is where, well, 2 more angel wings. And this is where she has a total of 6. And this is where she's angry. This is where someone else appears next to her. And it's actually a girl with blackish hair and magenta eyes. And it's none other than Rainer, because she actually took an interest with Issei one time. Because she has seen him multiple times. He's kind, nice, and somewhat shy. And also, someone also appears with water magic, and it's none other than what's it called? Mostly, what's it called? Sona. Sona is very angry and annoyed at the fact that mostly she never expected that mostly Issei's father to be an abusive asshole, and the fact that he has done so many shady, mostly like very shady shit towards Issei, it just makes her blood boil even more. This is where, well, everyone is saying, "Stop it, you asshole." This is where, well, Goro says, and who's going to stop me? You? You people can't even reach up to my power. A Mao, or maybe even the, what's it called? Even the Maos, or even what's it called? The leader of the fallen angels, or even the leader of the angels, will be enough power to take me on. You people, you children think that you can take me on? Oh, please. This is where Valerie is also angry. She's right now in Balance Breaker, but something happens. Mostly we go into Issei's mind. Issei is right now kind of falling into a deep slumber. That's where everything's turning black, and that's where Issei's like, what have I been working for? Why am I losing? Damn it. Even if I go Vasto or even monster form, would I be even enough? I'll lose my insanity. Damn it. Shiro! This is where he screams out Shiro before everything blacking out. And this is where Shiro, well, someone appears right now grabbing his hand. He looks up to thinking it's Shiro, and this is where it's not Shiro, but someone that he thought that they died, or someone that he saw familiar. A girl with kind of longish blackish hair, and of course having these reddish eyes. This is where, well, kind of reddish scarlet eyes. This is where, well, ruby eyes mostly. Issei said, Rika? This is where he kind of calls out to the girl's name. Mostly, she seems to be 14 at mostly spirit ghost form. But this is where, well, Rika smiles. Well, mostly the person smiles saying, "Hey, Issei, Kun." This is where, well, Issei said, "Ika, sorry." This is where, well, Issei said, right now, barely being able to talk. This is where the girl smiles and says, "Don't be sad. Besides, we know that basically Aizen might have tried to, well, hurt you enough so you can lose your mind and sanity, but you never did. We knew that you basically had to kill. We knew all about that. We all decided that one day, that fateful day where you appeared, and of course thinking that everything would be fine about you protecting us, but we all knew that one day we will all die. So we actually decided to, well, implant all our powers into you at that day when you kill us all." This is where, well, Issei's hearing this, and this is where Issei's crying. This is where Issei's like, "But why? Why?" Issei screams in an instant, crying even more. This is where Issei transformed back into being a 10-year-old kid. This is where, well, Issei's eyes are just crying right now, tearing up in an instant. This is where, well, the girl appears right now hugging him. Of course, this is where she's in spirit form, but this is where colors as she started kind of appearing on her body. This is where, well, she hugs him saying, "Because we all love you. Now, of course, you can be the older brother or even a little brother for me. Just survive. Survive to become stronger. That's all we believe in you. Besides, you were the strongest out of all of us. Out of every single one of us." This is where, well, every like spirit ghost form kid of that one time of that incident that was horribly went wrong, or mostly for Issei's mind, that was all kind of PTSD. And this is where, well, Issei sees all these spirits, and this is where he says, But I killed you all. Why? No. But I..." This is where a bunch of kids are holding his hand. This is where, well, they're in ghost figure. Mostly ghost kind of figure form, but this is where they start appearing as colors. The same kind of figures actually appear during mostly the time he was in Wake of Mundo being experimented on. So many kids actually appearing, hugging him, and of course holding his hand, saying, "It's okay, big brother." This is where some of the girls said, and even some of the guys, "We actually still care about you. That's why we left some of our powers. Even though we didn't know about our powers, we still left them in upon you." This is where, well, kid that's kind of did have a mostly eye patch appear. This is where, well, "Besides, you have my power." Another kid with mostly whitish hair appears, kind of saying, "You had my powers." This is where he had kind of crystallized blue eyes a little bit, but not much. This is where, well, other kids are appearing, saying, "You have my powers. You have also my powers. You can do this, big brother." This is where everyone started cheering. This is where, well, the older girl, who was kind of having longish blackish hair and reddish eyes, kind of hugged him still, saying, "Yes, you can do this, Issei-kun. You are the strongest out of all of us, except being the strongest. Don't be denied that you're not the strongest, because you are. You were the one to survive after being injected with something that was stronger than any Vasto Lord in the whole Wake of Mundo. Even Aizen kind of believing you, even if you don't think that he believed in you. He knew about you. He knew everything about you. And yet, he was doing this all because he wanted you to become stronger. Stronger than anyone. So, don't reject your hollow powers and your Shinigami powers away. Accept them all. Accept every single power in your body. So you can win. You don't want to let your friends die. Your new friends, your girlfriends, and other things die." Issei's face becomes a little bit red, but this is where, well, he looks at Rika and says, I accept." This is where, well, Issei looked at mostly everyone, and everyone turns into a ball of energy, but mostly it turns into this bluish ball of energy, and that being the Hogakyu. Issei said, That's the Hogakyu." But this is where, well, the Hogakyu actually appears as a full spirit body, and this is where, well, he says, "Hello there, Issei. You're probably wondering why I'm here. You're probably wondering, shouldn't I be with Aizen? Well, I should. You achieve immortality and other things with my power. But you see here, Aizen didn't use my power fully. Before getting sealed away, he's right now snapped a bit of the Hogakyu ball into two, sending a bit of me into you, knowing damn well that you will need it more than ever in the near future. That's why he did go to Koa one time, but suppressing his energy. No one knew about this, but he did this on his own. He did this because he cared about you. Even if you think that he didn't care, he cared because he knew that mostly his son was such a bastard of a son. So of course, he decided to care about you. This is where, well, he says, this is where, well, he says shocked and dumbfounded. He says, then, what should I do? Well, you should accept me. Since I am a part of the, well, mostly the full Hogakyu, and I am half, you should accept my power. I don't know what will really happen when you accept me. You'll probably become immortal, or maybe become stronger. Or what will ever happen. But you do want to save everyone, don't you? Issei said, yes. I want to save my mother, I want to save everyone, I want to protect them all from that bastard. Then, you should accept me. Also, this is where, well, two other figures appear. They're both kind of females. One with whitish hair and bluish eyes, slick bluish eyes, and the other one is kind of blackish hair and mostly reddish eyes. Now, of course, one has very like lightish, like palish skin, like very palish skin, and the other one that had mostly the white hair girl, and the other one was kind of blackish, kind of darkish skin. This is where, well, they both had kind of these wings behind them, and this is where, well, they kind of look like this. So they look like this, but yeah. This is where, well, both of them right now talks, also saying, hello there, Issei-kun. This is where Issei says, who are you? This is where he's kind of blushing because they look actually quite beautiful. This is where, well, they smile saying, hello. We are both your Zanpakutos. This is where Issei says, I thought one of them was supposed to be resurrection. This is where both of them shake their hands saying, no, we are both Zanpakutos. Since we're a part of your, mostly, Shinigami side. And we would like to tell you about our names. And please, use our full power. That means Bankai. This is where, well, Issei widens his eyes and sees, but both of them tells him his, well, both of their names. Of course, he couldn't hear it, but this is where, well, Issei nodded and says, I understand. This is where, well, Issei says, I accept both my Shinigami powers and Hollow powers, the Hogakyu and everyone else's powers in an instant. This is where, well, Issei says, I'll become the strongest to protect everyone in an instant. This is where, well, most of the Hogakyu smiles, even though you can barely see his face. This is where, well, both of his Zanpakutos smile because they're right now in humanoid. And this is where, well, we go into Issei. Issei outside. Right now, his father was about to send so many magic attacks right towards everyone. This is where, well, mostly Sir Sex and also what's it called, Anzo appears. This is where, well, they're about to make a magic kind of shield until something exploded underneath mostly Goto. Goto won his eyes and jumped away because he felt such powerful energy appearing around Issei. Issei right now kind of woke up in an instant. All the wounds in his body healed in an instant, extremely fast. This is where his body, mostly his clothing changed in an instant to kind of look like that of a captain uniform for a second. And this is where, well, mostly kind of being black and white, but it kind of has gold and also kind of like silver in his clothes. But yeah, his hair became longer. Think of it like similar to that Indira's kind of hair length. But yeah, of course it was lighter instead of being dark brown, but this is where, well, it started having some dark brown patches a little bit, but this is where lightish brown, reddish, greenish, and other colors into his hair. His eyes right now switches to being one bluish color, and the other one being reddish. This is where, well, Issei then calls out for both of his Zanpakutos to come towards him, which both of them did come towards him. This is where he's holding one of his right hand being the white sword, while the black sword was in his left hand. This is where, well, Issei says, Pan Kai Reshiran Zakaran. This is where, well, he screams out both of his swords then, and this is where both of them right now appears into being gauntlets in his hand, like somewhat gauntlets. This is where, well, his black one is kind of looks like to be like a claw black gauntlet one, and of course it does have like a reddish gem, or not reddish, it's kind of like a yellowish kind of reddish gem. But yeah, of course, where, well, the white one also appears to be like a white gauntlet, similar to that of the black one, but with a blue, kind of a bluish gem, but with bluish flame pattern kind of crackling from it. But yeah, or kind of appearing. This is where wings actually did appear from behind him to kind of being connected with the, what's it called, gauntlets. But this is where, well, also red wings appear from behind him in an instant. His shirt, mostly his coat, his like, mostly it kind of does look like a captain coat, does reveal, well, mostly his chest in front of him. They kind of look like a V-neck, but pretty long. And it just shows his like chest to be having a hole, but this one having a little small ball of the Hogukyu inside him. This is where, well, Issei's power has increased a lot also. Also, mostly his eyes are slick, but yeah. But instead of having a black slick, it's mostly a white slick. But yeah. This is where, well, Issei looks at his mostly father, and this is where he does have the boosted gear, but mostly became boosted wings instead of boosted gear. So yeah. This is where, well, mostly Drake is confused. Drake and says, what the? How the? This is... Wait, no, this is impossible. How the hell did it become wings? No, wasn't I supposed to be gauntlets? Until the Hogukyu told him to shut up in an instant and just say to roll with it. He didn't really have another way to put him into mostly the gauntlets that both his Issei's Bankais wanted to be, or Zanpakuto's. toes. This is where, well, I should also mention that Issei did kind of, well, didn't say just Bankai, he says Resurrection Bankai, but yeah. This is where, well, he's now into this form. This is where, well, Issei glares at his father, and this is where his father says, weren't you supposed to be dead? No, you're supposed to be dead. This is impossible. No, you shan't be. This is where Issei appears right in front of him, punching him in the stomach so fast, and, well, mostly in the stomach with the, what's it called, black collar, and an instant right now launching him. But this is where Issei appears, well, mostly in front of him again, by using Tornado flagship again, and they're been increased a lot. This is where, well, he then swings his right hand into Goro's face, smashing him down to the ground. This is where, well, he gets smashed down to the ground, and Issei is right now still standing. Right now, with just an uncaring look in his face. He says, I'm not letting you hurt anyone. This is where Issei said with such a cold, dead voice. But this is where, well, mostly Goro gets up and says, oh, you little brat. I'm the strongest. I'm a god. You think you can defeat me? Die. This is where he sends multiple attacks at Issei. Issei sees his attacks, and this is where he then says, shield. This is where a shield appears right in front of him, like a hologram kind of shield being greenish a little bit, and this is where it just blocks all the attacks. Issei says, pathetic. This is where he disappeared the shield until he appears right in front of his father, sending a powerful kind of like back kick into his stomach. This is where, well, most of his body coughs up some blood. This is where he coughs up some more blood. This is where he's launched to mostly the ground in an instant. This is where he's just crushing the ground from his body. This is where he managed to land softly with his wings, but this is where Issei appears behind him and says, these wings are quite annoying. Let me rip them off from your back. Goro says, no you don't. Issei grabs him in an instant, puts his leg on the back of his father, and just rips him out entirely, plucking him out like a chicken. This is where his father screams in so much pain. Every person that had wings right now kind of hold their wings in an instant because it's painful as fuck to see wings being ripped out. This is where, well, Issei then just kind of kicks him in the head, right now smashing him down to the ground. Issei didn't care. He's being so much brutal than normal. Issei then just kind of holding the wings still and just kind of throws him towards the factions. He didn't really care. This is where Issei looks at mostly his father with just uncaring cackling and glare mostly. And this is where, well, his father says, you annoying rat. How you use the power of Lilith eye. This is where he opens it and there's no eye socket. He's like, where is it? I took it out from you. This is where he's holding it, and this is where he just tosses it towards mostly Valerie. And this is where he says, hold that for a second and don't lose it. This is where Valerie says, why the hell did he just give me an eye, asshole? You see, he kind of glances at her and just glares at her and just didn't care that much neither. She blushes a little bit looking away, but yeah. This is where, well, as I say, huh. Red dragon, white dragon. Red dragon, white dragon. Wait a minute. This is where, well, Issei kind of says, hey father, this isn't my true full power, but let me show you my true full power. I would like to introduce you to my full power. This is where, well, his father says, what are you talking about? This is where, well, Issei says, this is where he says, Vasto Lorde, El Diablo. This is where, well, his power right now increases into an instant. Right now exploded. Black and red energy and even white energy appears around him after he transforms. This is where his El Diablo kind of looks like. The Vasto Lorde called El Diablo. So yeah. This is where, well, a tail behind him, wings. This is where the other wings, like the booster gear wings, are still there. But this is where, well, Issei disappears in an instant, appearing right in front of his father. In an instant of speed. Like he just teleported there, but that was just speed entirely. His fist is right now appearing the red gauntlet again. This is where being the boosted gear, and this is where boosts 100. Yes, the boost right now went to 100. This is where, well, red, mostly red flames, but also bluish flames and like yellow lightnings crackling around his fist, his right fist. And this reason says, El Diablo. Well, he says, El Diablo. What's it called? El Diablo Smasher! This is where he punches mostly his father in the face so hard, launching him straight to the ground and knocking his shit out. This is where, well, Issei is right now breathing really hard, and this is where, well, someone appears, well, kind of near next to, what's it called? The, factions. This is where, well, he has a fan and saying, oh my. Well, look at that. I have never seen such a powerful Vasto Lord ever in my life. Issei turns around and sees none other than Urahara, and this is where Issei kind of gets out of his El Diablo form, and this is where, well, Issei sighs and says, I didn't kill him. You can see that. This is where, well, Urahara smiles and says, I know that. This is where Issei then feels like his power and body, and most of his body feels like strained a lot, and this is where Issei says, oh shit, I'm gonna fall down. This is where, well, Urahara managed to catch him before he fell down, and this is where, well, Urahara says, take a good nap, little brat. Or mostly, take a good nap, brat. This is where, well, Issei falls asleep, but yeah, into a deep slumber, and this is where Urahara did tell what's it called, someone to grab him, mostly behind him, like his, that one glasses guy, but yeah, this is where, well, Urahara did go up to, what's it called, mostly Goro, and Goro's looking at Urahara and say, you're Urahara, what do you want? He's coughing up blood. Oh, just to seal you away. This is where he puts the keto around mostly his, Goro, mostly Issei's father, and this is where Goro says, no, you can't seal me, just kill me, I don't want to be next to that bastard. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna put you next to your father, good old Pops. This is where, well, Goro says, no! This is where, well, we go into, time skip, but yeah. Well, not time skip, mostly Urahara, yeah, time skip for Urahara. Urahara goes into POV of just telling everyone that everything is fine, nothing to worry, blah blah blah. But this is where the girls that were actually worried about Issei, even Issei's friends, rushes past mostly Urahara in an instant. Urahara was surprised, but this is where, well, mostly Irina is kind of seeing Issei if he's okay. And this is where, well, Urahara says, sheesh, I didn't know Issei would have a harem this fast. That's not the point. So, is everything fine here? If everything is fine, blah blah blah. This is where, well, Urahara says, other than that, I'll be taking Issei back to Kurokata Town for him to be fully healed and for him to control powers. But other than that, I'm also going to move Issei from Kuwo Academy towards Kurokata Town Academy. But yeah, this is where, well, Sona says, what? No, you can't do that. This is where, well, Urahara says, ow, that hurt my ears. Can you shut up for a second? This is where, well, mostly they all switch up at how Urahara is. This is where Urahara says, other than that, if there's any, well, mostly, well, how should I say? If there's any ejection, say it right now. This is where Sona says, I eject. This is where, well, the other girls eject, and this is where Urahara says, no one? Okay. This is where, as I said, I kind of eject here, because, well, how will my daughter be able to see her new kind of red lover? This is where, well, Urahara says, she can always go to Kurokata Town. Yes, but isn't that place full of Shinigamis? Well, I mean, Issei is under the protection of Shinigamis and also the Ronkars, or Hollows. So, you tell me. This is where, well, as I say, that is true. So, what are you towards mostly the red dragon boy? What the hell do I say? Probably adopted father. Maybe you can say stepfather. I am not dating his mother, but mostly I'm kind of like a father or uncle towards him. So yeah, this is where, well, he'll just say, similar to me. That's nice. This is where, well, mostly, how do I say? Yeah, probably. Scientist, fallen angel. This is where, well, this is where I just say, so you know about me? Yes, I do. They're basically just looking at each other, kind of analyzing each other. That's why everyone just sweat drops in an instant. This is where mostly starts like says, so wait, are you saying that the boy is underprotected by Shinigamis? Yep. That means no one from the devil's side should be able to reincarnate him. If that happens, good luck to your society, because if I can remember right, look, I'll show you a video. This is where how to pulls out a video and shows about the terrifying match of mostly the Quincy's versus the Soul Reapers. That's what's going to happen towards your devil society. This where well, Surgeon said, hey, we are not going to reincarnate him. There's no such thing as reincarnating someone else here. Yeah, we are good. This is where Rhea saw the terrifying match of the power of the captains. Yeah, no. When she was thinking of trying to get Issei into her barrage, she even did kind of talk smack about mostly saying that she would get him into her barrage, mostly telling that to Celestia and Allison to try to piss him off enough. But this is where, well, it went into backfire because mostly Issei is really alive, and also the fact that he's protected by Shinigami's. So yeah, making him one of the most dangerous people to be trying to reincarnate unless you want to fucking war with the Shinigami's. But yeah. Other than that, I'm going to end it off here for kind of part 5. Part 6 will be whenever. But for right now, I'm going to have to go to the store in a while. What time is it? Oh shit, 20. But other than that, I gotta go. Bye, see you, and yeah.